It's time for Pass the Mic, as we bring in comedians to hopefully make you laugh. Today we're bringing back the open mic OG, Rod Morrow, who was our first ever guest here on the show. We wanted to talk to Rod about some odd animal stories going on. You guys take a look. An Arizona company has created a new way to try and control their rat population. Sinestech has created what they call rat birth control. They created a bait that after rats eat it, they become sterile and cannot reproduce. The other side is it doesn't kill them like regular traps or poison. How do you feel about this?
As a pro-life conservative, I can't support the birth control for rats. Okay, we need every rat life begins at conception, and we need to go ahead and put that out there and let them run over the population. No one's pro-life when it comes to rats, right?
Hey.
My problem is the visceral killing of rats feeds into my punitive side. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the idea of rats knowing, like, oh, we just saw a rat in a trap. We need to get the heck out of here. I need them to get that warning, and they're not going to get that from just, going out with the sterility. I don't, it feels a little too much eugenics for me. I'm not a big fan of this plan.
I wanted to take off purely because we developed birth control for women, took off, selling like hotcakes. We developed birth control for men. We developed birth control for rats. If that takes off selling like hotcakes, while birth control for men still sitting there on the shelf, we will have to look at ourselves. We will have to look at ourselves. The one form of birth control that's still sitting up on the shelf that we like, is the male birth control.
The thing with the male birth control is it's gonna become like cracking the CIA in the hood, right? Like everyone's gonna be worried, like they putting it in the water, brother. You got to be only drink bottled water if you're over at off of Compton, because you know what they doing. I can't have no babies. I think it's the government.
Yeah, I'm like, what is with all these dental dams in Compton? I don't understand this. That is crazy. Next, a man in Pennsylvania is taking emotional support animal to a whole new level. Joe Henney has an alligator named Wally Gator that is legally his support animal. Joe first got Wally from a friend in Florida, and Joe said Wally brought him joy through his recent cancer diagnosis and treatment, even bringing Wally Gator to some of his radiation appointments. One day, his physician, after hearing Joe's face light up when talking about Wally, offered to legally register the gator as an emotional support animal, so Joe did it. What is this?
White nonsense?
Yeah.
I feel like animals that don't have emotions can't be emotional support anything. And a gator is just a feeding machine. It's not, it's not an emotional creature in that way. There's no such thing as a tame gator. When this guy dies, they will find him in the house half eaten by that gator, because that's exactly what the gator's designed to do.
I like to ask myself, would we have gotten away with this? Okay, a brother would be doing so much time if he tried to bring a gator where it wasn't supposed to be. Because you know good and damn well a brother has tried to use a chicken, a brother has tried to use a pit bull, a brother has tried to use raccoons, a brother has tried to use a coyote. You know a brother has tried to use many things and been rejected, but my man can just use his gator. That's
Imagine you got to sit next to this man on the plane with his emotional support gator.
Yeah.
Like, how is that okay? This is so preposterous. The plot to this, if it was a black person, is an episode of Atlanta with Cat Williams. Like, that's how ridiculous we found this. We made it into a fictional thing because we thought certainly no Negro of good mind would do this. And apparently this man just calls it Tuesday.
It is exactly an episode of Atlanta. Why was she wandering through Europe that whole season? She definitely took that bag, by the way. We're going to make rat birth control happen. If you want to hear more from Rod, make sure you check out his podcast, The Black Guy Who Tips. He also is a writer for Game Theory with Bomani Jones on HBO. New season coming out shortly.